Welcome to this episode of On Photography. In this episode, we're going to be doing a bit of an unboxing. So we got this guy. Now notice I've got also this guy sitting here. So these two kind of go together. So maybe you can guess what this is. So this is a T-mount lens. So in the past, I did a video with an M42 adapter to micro four thirds. And this time I'm going to do basically T-mount. Now I mentioned in the other one with the M42 adapters that T-mount and M42 are a little bit different. We got a little Allen wrench there in the box. So we got this guy. So this guy, what you do, quite simply, is screw him onto the, whoop, if we get it right here, Joe, screw him on here, and then what we do is we will take the lens off of this guy, set him over here, and then we have pop the lens on this guy. Now, what happens is this Allen wrench they give you over here is meant to spin, because this is basically a T-ring mounted to this adapter. And so now this bad boy is mounted on here. So this is in a full frame 35 millimeter. I don't even know if I can get it to focus in here. I can't even get it to focus in here. I can't even get something far enough away. But anyways, this is now going to give me an effective focal length of almost around 1,000 millimeters. So this is kind of crazy. So I'm really kind of interested to see how this goes. Now, this is a chromatic lens. So basically this means we're going to see some fringing of blues. Make sure you get this in frame. We're going to probably see some fringing of blues in this. I'm really not too overly worried because the 20 megapixel sensor here means I can do some cropping. So if I get some spherical aberrations around the outside or some, color aberrations, because of the, shallower focusing depth of the blues, I can always crop those out. I got a big enough sensor in this camera. So that's the kind of cool part. So I can use a cheap lens to get some pretty good results because of the big sensor, or the big pixel sensor per se, not surface area. So anyways, I'm pretty excited about giving this a try, and also being able to connect it to other T-mount lenses, because I don't have one right now. I probably will pick up another cheaper mirrored base. They have those f8s, 500 millimeter f8s, which are about so long. I've had those before. Some of the stuff that this is good for is, also astrophotography, images of the moon. And I'm going to be getting that in a future episode. I used to be really, really big into astrophotography. I tell you what, folks, if you want something to sink money into, you can sink it into astrophotography. I really don't do it anymore. I still got some of the stuff. I probably will touch on some of the basics. I've got a couple telescopes left, higher-end telescopes. And that's part of the other reason for getting this. I should mention that. Is this T-mount, I've got a number of adapters to adapt this to a telescope. So not only can I adapt it to T-mount lenses, I can also adapt it to telescopes, microscopes, and other things. Anything that takes a T-mount, you can connect this camera to now. And by using the app, I think it'd be really cool. So I'm going to do some future episodes about imaging the moon, maybe do star trails, maybe even do some light astrophotography itself in stacking, because one of the things, you may be aware of, you need a real expensive drive to do astrophotography, but you can cheat. You can take shorter exposures and you can use the computer to stack them. So what happens is you pick 3 points on the photograph, or the image, if you will, and you have like 100 of them, and you say maybe take a 1 second long image before the stars start to elongate because of the trailing. And then what happens is it rotates the image in azimuth, so it gives her it's basically what's called alt azimuth orientation. It rotate it and then just start stacking, adding them together. I'll get into that more in the future, especially if there's interest. Let me know below. I've done a lot of that in the past, and I think this camera will be pretty good for it. And again, it's cheap, so you leave it outside. You're not overly concerned. It's not like leaving $1,000 or $2,000 camera out there. And some of the scopes I've had in the past are like $10,000 scopes. So anyways, that's leaving some money out in the driveway. So anyways, hopefully you found this interesting. I'll have a link to this below. below. I'll also be doing some field trials on this. Probably be going out on the lake and doing some ship photography, see how it all works, especially with the manual focus. So anyways, hopefully you found this interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget, subscribe button's going to be coming up over there. I put out regular content. Subscribe. And if you have any hints or tricks for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in learning too. Cheers. See you guys in the next video.